can't say that we assumed we were going to win. We know that we're dealing with a really good team, but we had an expectation to play well. And so when we weren't shocked. We were just like, hey, this is what we do.
Sometimes having two freshmen on the court at all times, a sophomore center starting. Sidney was our most veteran guy and had played the most, started the most games, although Doyle was a senior.
Sidney Johnson was an amazing leader. I look up to him to this day as a leader to me. Even though we're all grown men now, he was such a great leader as a junior captain for our team. I kind of wasn't ready in my mind to win that game, and Sidney was.
We were used to winning. And so respectfully to UCLA, it was obviously an amazing program and they had a good team, but if you put us in a position where you were gonna leave the game open, we were gonna take it because we were used to winning games and being in games and executing and having the mental toughness.
We were down big at Columbia, maybe down double digits when I checked into the game. And I remember like making a layup, getting fouled, and Sidney being the first guy there kind of laughing, like supporting you, and yeah, that's how you play. Like, there you go. He was good at a lot of things, defensively in particular, but his leadership was high level. That allowed the rest of us to kind of make plays.
Princeton in the dark uniforms, Mississippi State in the light uniforms.
Going into that game, everybody thought we were gonna win. There wasn't anybody who thought we were gonna lose that game.
They were awesome, and we got rolled in that game.
Lob pass inside, Dent here, good catch, going up strong, and he got it.
They were so good. They ended up going to the Final Four. I don't remember it being that competitive. You know, we tried everything we could, but you know, we were feeling really good going into the game.
The ride that we had, right? Beating Penn, beating UCLA in a week. I don't say it was disappointing. It was probably expected. And then, you know, we got destroyed. They were a good team. They had two really good guards. They had 2 first-round NBA picks. They were a really solid team. That game, we got annihilated, though. We were not ready to play that game.
A little bit of history. Pete Carril's final game. He loses to Mississippi State, 63-41. But an emotional time for Pete after the game, and we caught up with him. And here's Andrea Joyce.
Coach, I know now that you don't like to philosophize about this, but now that it is over, could you share with us your thoughts about leaving the college game?
Well, I'm going to miss it. I'll always be rooting for Princeton.
The win over UCLA would be Pete Carril's last as a college head coach, but that victory over the Bruins laid the foundation for the Tigers' late 90s dominance.
Those were the formative things, like when did the light bulb go on for those that time? It was that Penn game and that UCLA game.
That season set the team up, you know, the next 2 years for us to be great.
That team just continued. You know, Sidney was on that team. He was an older guy on that team. He became a senior the next year. Everybody else was underclassmen. That team just kept rolling.
Princeton would go 51-6 over the next 2 years with Bill Carmody at the helm, including a top 10 ranking and an NCAA tournament win over UNLV in 1998.
Everyone wants to interview me about the UCLA backdoor layup, but I will always say the best time at Princeton was my junior year, that 97-98 season, when we were awesome. We had the most wins in our school history. We played good teams and we beat teams consistently.
In addition to Carril, 6 men who were on the bench for Princeton in the win over UCLA have gone on to become Division I head coaches. Carmody took over for Carril and later moved on to Northwestern and Holy Cross. John Thompson III would succeed him before following in his father's footsteps at Georgetown. Joe Scott, a future head coach at Princeton and Air Force, Sidney Johnson at Princeton and Fairfield, Brian Earl at Cornell, and since 2011, Mitch Henderson at Princeton. Every Princeton head coach since the win over UCLA is a disciple of Pete Carril and was on the bench that March day in Indianapolis.
It's never been lost on me that the teaching in practice, the little skill breakdowns was so high level. Coach Carril, Bill, John, Joe, they saw the modern game in advance. 4 guys, all skilled, playing around a center that was skilled, is really a testament to, you know, coaches, the way he taught and saw the game. And we were playing that way. It's an incredibly difficult thing to guard.
For me, there were 2 signature moments at the end of Coach Carril's career. First was the Penn game, that we beat them in the Ivy League playoff. In many ways, for me, that's even more memorable. But as far as the national press was concerned, we're now playing UCLA. And like the Georgetown game, this had a national audience. And so it's the perfect ending to what was a great career for Coach Carril and for the team.